Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Time for Sci-Fi Distilled, and we are still well within Halloween month. I think this is probably our favorite month of the year.
It's my favorite month.
It's a lot of people's favorite month. Even as a kid, I think Halloween was definitely one of my favorite holidays, next to Christmas, of course, for obvious reasons.
Of course. Kids love Halloween and Christmas. Costumes, candy, and toys.
I love the costume thing. So we're continuing with our kind of what we think are our favorite movies, and then this genre is alien movies, alien visitation movies, because even that was such a huge chunk. Like we didn't like because immediately
we had to
a lot of sci-fi is alien, so almost any movie was qualified. So, I had to narrow it down to Alien Visitation to the Earth.
We had to narrow our parameters.
Yeah, and even that, I think we probably should have narrowed it more because we were just discussing it before we came online. There's so many that we just like missed in this list that are excellent, great movies that probably should have at least made our honorable mentions. So don't murder us because we missed something really good.
Throw yours in the chat. I'd love to see what
exactly. Put it in the chat. So, but before we get into that, I think we have a little bit of news.
I do have a little bit of news. I have a couple things. What do I have here? I have 3 tidbits, and then I have a couple things I want to talk to you about, Rizzo. So let's do the tidbits first. Just last week, we did our top vampire movies, and I named Bram Stoker's Dracula as my top vampire movie. Well, Luc Besson, yes, the Fifth Element Luc Besson, has decided that he is going to take his stab at the Dracula story. He has put out Dracula, A Love Tale. It has already been theatrically released in France. It was released back in July. It's not scheduled to be released here in North America until February, but it's kind of the same story. He's taking the same thing and then giving it the Luc Besson treatment. And if you guys are interested, because it's already been released in France, there's 1 million clips and snippets and trailers and stuff on YouTube and like in the reels on Instagram, so you can go check it out. It looks on the one hand kind of wild, and on the other hand, just like the old ones.
Really do Dracula so many ways.
We're doing Dracula.
They tried with Frankenstein. They tried to like changing that one up and like make it try to drive it towards more a love story, which I guess originally was when Mary Shelley wrote it.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's like, I guess people hear Frankenstein and they want, or at least they think like Universal Monster. Same thing. I think if you say Dracula.
No, this isn't Universal Monster. This is the Bram Stoker.
I think that's what people think, and I think that's people are kind of caught up in that.
Yeah.
So
the actual name of Besson's movie is Dracula, A Love Tale. So I mean,
there was one called Dead and Loving It. Leslie
Nielsen. It's a love story. So all right. Will it usurp my number one? I don't know. Well, I will have to check it out. Supernatural fans, of which I am one, get ready. October 29th, there is a new comic coming out. It has a kind of a limited run, but the comic will have the 2 brothers, Sam and Dean, returning and hunting down new demons, ghosts, and monsters. It will be set somewhere between the 1st and 2nd seasons. And frankly, with 15 seasons of stuff to mine from, the comic book world can have a field day and go wherever they want. If you play God of War, I've got good news for you. There's a God of War series. Like every single game now has a series or a movie or something. There's a God of War series coming. Yeah, it's coming to Amazon and Sony Pictures. It's set to begin shooting next year, and while no casting details have been announced, it will feature characters from the game. Based on the official synopsis, this series looks to be pretty faithful to the game, but it sounds like it will also have elements from God of War Ragnarok. That'll be fun. Okay, cool. All right, Rizzo, what do you think about this? Star Wars is sort of airing its dirty laundry, kind of, but not really. So they were going to have this thing called The Hunt for Ben Solo, starring Adam Driver, and they decided to scrap that. And the fans are mad, and Adam Driver's not too happy about it either. So, because Adam said that he had quote unquote unfinished business with Kylo Ren, and they had a script worked up, and they were all excited, and they brought the script to Kathleen Kennedy, and she was cool with it. And then they brought it to her boss, Bob Iger, and Bob Iger was like, no. So now everyone's really disappointed. So following that news, They decided not to do The Hunt for Ben Solo. They decided to put the Ray, the Daisy Ridley, whatever her name is, movie, the Ray movie, on hold. And now they're going back to look at maybe a Lando feature with Donald Glover again. And Donald's already spoken about it. So here's the thing. With the advent of like modern social media and all this stuff, this is all information that none of us, when we were kids, we never knew any of this crap.
No, right.
Had no clue what was going on behind the scenes. Now it's all laid out right in the open for us to follow along.
To hate. Well, I think I think part of it is they're probably doing it on purpose to get a sense of the reaction. Throwing it out there. The Daisy Ridley, the Ray movie, I think that was pretty much had greenlit, from what I understood, to the point where they were going to start shooting it. But I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think when the movie that the show that tanked there, the Acolyte.
Yeah, Acolyte.
When that tanked, and I think a lot of people, I think Iger finally, stepped in to Kathleen and said, okay, we need to pull this back. We're hemorrhaging money. It's not making money. Whatever you're doing is not what the fans want, clearly. I mean, when you really look back, you take Andor out of the mix, and the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, they haven't really put out anything super great.
Book of Boba Fett was
Boba Fett was meh.
Obi-Wan was...
I thought Obi-Wan was okay, but a lot of people had problems with it. And this is a very, like any fandom, there's going to be a lot of toxicity with it. I mean, people are just going to hate on hate things. I mean, but I think the mess that was made of the Force Awakens series, the Skywalker series, the last 3 main story, so to speak, films, really did a lot of damage. I think, especially the second 2 movies. I think they just damaged the franchise so poorly. But when you think about it, they haven't come out with. I mean, they came out with the Han Solo prequel, if you will, and what have they done for the only thing except for Rogue One, was great. And then I don't know. It's like, look at what worked and build on that.
And do that again.
Yeah, it's like build on that. Don't do it again, because don't copy. Because, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But like, Andor clearly worked very well. As much as it did, they hated the fact that it works. Like, they didn't want it to work almost.
Oh, no, they didn't. But it did. But it's just seeing how the sausage gets made. Seeing all these behind-the-scenes machinations of like, okay, we're going to do a Ben Solo. No, we're not. Okay, we're going to do Rey. No, we're not going to do that. Well, all right, let's go back to Lando Calrissian.
It shows you how crazy it all is.
But does it help or hinder?
It's amazing that anything actually gets made.
Does it just add to the spectacle, or does it hinder when the whole public can follow along and watch what's happening? I
think there's a certain level of we know too much before the movie comes out. And I think that does, I will say that I think, and I can't quantify it, but I think in my feeling of that, it does detract from the impact of the film when it is finally released. Because we know all the drama with the actors and who walked off the set and who was having a problem and how they had to change the director. So we already get these things in our head that, this is going to be a shit show. You know what I'm saying? And, or you know what I'm saying? So I think you got a good point. Maybe there's a little too much transparency, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't see you turning it around. Look at the mess that happened with JJ when he did not Into Darkness. What was the second Star Trek movie? Basically the Wrath of Khan remake. And that whole, no, it's not Khan, it's not Khan, and it leaked that it was Khan.
And then boom, it was Khan.
Yeah, it was really Khan. I mean, I think that did more damage to that franchise just because of the nonsense that they tried to keep it under wraps. And we know that it can be done because it has been done. I'm trying to think of a good example recently, but there's been
a good example of Star Wars. A good example of Star Wars keeping something under wraps. Luke showing up at the end of
Mandalorian end of season 2. That was kept very well.
They kept that tight. Yes,
and it was a great. And we all see if we had known that,
loved it.
It's a great example because if we had known that ahead of time, it wouldn't have had the impact.
Yes,
you wouldn't. I was like cheering at the screen.
Yes, I was in my living room screaming.
Yeah. So, I mean, it can be
And it
done.
also shows they are capable, which means all this, I'm calling it dirty laundry. I don't know what to call it. All this behind the scenes crap that we're seeing, it's being leaked or let out. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's not, they're not making efforts to control it. They're letting us know.
No, clearly not. And it doesn't help that there's so much. Disney needs to get their house in order in the sense that Iger needs to straighten the. I mean, he is the guy. He's the helm. He's the captain. And you could say that Kathleen's ahead of Lucasfilm's. BS. The buck stops at his office for everything, and I think he's seen enough bleeding that he's finally. I think he let them, gave him their rope, and say, "We'll see if you either hang yourself, or you pull yourself up, like a, I don't know. I think he's had it. I think his Stockholm had it.
Star Wars is probably the last thing on Iger's mind right now. Well, with other current events that haven't gone on with Disney,
yes, but, films, and but it is an escape to some degree.
Is an escape to some degree, but yeah, it's just cracking me up that, like, I was thinking about, like, when I was a little kid and the TV shows I watched when I was a kid, I had no bloody idea what was going on.
Like, well, there's true, and again, we didn't have that internet and the access that we do now. You had things like Starlog magazine and things like that.
Yeah,
we always had a positive, but they always took a positive spin on things. It was always like, look how cool this is going to look like.
Yes.
So we don't have all this the negativity certainly was born from the internet. But, I just, of late, there's nothing that's coming out that I go, ooh, I can't wait to see the XY.
The last thing that I was, like, really excited for was probably Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I was very excited about that. And I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I was disappointed. But I also kind of avoided spoilers and stuff.
Yeah, but I wasn't disappointed in the fact of the overall film and the quality of it and the entertainment value of it. But like everything else, like, I've seen these trailers for Starfleet Academy and season 4 of Strange New Worlds, and I just want to
not just the trailers, but like the cast interviews where they're trying to put a good spin on it. It's like, come on, guys, just speak your mind.
Yeah, I'd love to know what they really think. Some of them.
Yeah, I would love to know what they really think too.
But anyway,
right.
It is what it is.
Finally,
it's the times we live.
It's the times we live in. Finally, tonight, we are so excited for. Can we call him friend of the show? We can certainly call him friend of the set tour.
Doug?
Yes.
I would say both.
We are so excited.
Twice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. For a friend of the show and friend of the set tour, Doug Drexler. Doug is having a documentary made about him. It's called Trek Star, the Doug Drexler story. There is a Facebook page, and guys, there is a Kickstarter. And I'm going to put some links. I'll put a link up to a Trek movie article about it, and I will put a link up to the Kickstarter in the chat. I hope you guys can maybe just support this project, even if it's just a couple bucks. Some of the rewards, here's when I were looking at some of the rewards. The rewards go from $15 all the way up to $10,000.
$10,000. I know. I thought one of the interesting $7,500, and you can have. Apparently, he has Gene Roddenberry's golf club, which I'm still available. I was surprised nobody has
just the one club.
Just one club. It looks like a wedge. Just sort of looks like a wedge, but. It's funny. There's a lot of scripts.
A lot of scripts. There's great rewards, you guys. The rewards are amazing.
I went and snagged a screen prop off of there from Enterprise, so hopefully, get that.
I snagged Buckaroo Banzai print, and I got a ball cap that says Trek Star on it.
Even if you're just giving them, if you like Doug and you can't afford to, a bigger, you can pledge $1.
Just pledge however much you can.
So
the exclusive crew baseball cap, I got that. There's all kinds of autograph stuff. Pre-recorded message from Doug. All kinds of. If you want to go big, you can get a Zoom chat with Doug. If you really want to go big, you can get worse.
First of all, anybody if you know Doug, he's a ball of energy, even though he's well into his 60s.
He's a phenom.
Yeah, and he has done, when you really start looking at his credit, aside the fact that he has several Emmys and an Academy Award, his life has been very interesting, and he has been very focused. I will give it that the guy was focused for his whole life on doing this sort of thing, as far as, creative work. So, if you're something you're interested in, if you're not interested in seeing the documentary and you want to help him out, I think they're a little over a third of the way. Clark getting close to half.
Yeah, they're somewhere in the 60s.
They had about $134,000 range they needed. I think they're in the 60,000s.
Yeah,
Now,
they're about half.
they're getting close to the halfway mark,
Yeah.
and it's only
Getting
been
close
open
to
a few days. I think it was a Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday it released.
Does it say?
It's only been a couple of days, so you got a month to decide. But if you want any of the extras, I wouldn't wait because they're going to get probably snatched up.
Yeah, if you want any of these cool things, they are going to get snatched
A lot
up.
of TNG scripts, actual, real scripts, not copies.
Actual scripts, yep.
So
a lot of cool things. So anyway, so yeah, everyone help Doug. Jeff is asking if the golf club have his fingerprints, but if it has his fingerprints,
I don't know. You would have to ask Doug that question.
If you have
no idea where he
if you have Roddenberry DNA, you can clone clone Roddenberry.
Why you'd want to, I don't know.
We have
Doctorman. We have Doctorman to be Roddenberry all the time.
Yeah, we've got Doctorman.
So and there's also lots of people that are going to be in the documentary. It's not just Doug. Doctorman's one of the people. The Okudas, of course. Lots of people, a lot of actors from Star Trek are going to be in the documentary.
Yeah.
Ironically, they did not ask me. I don't know why, but.
Sarge says it's out of his range. Sarge, this you can get like a storyboard print for $20, or actually at the top. This is $10. Just give $10 here. I'm gonna put some links in the chat right now.
Like I said, if you don't, I mean, don't. We're not telling you. We're not forcing anybody or saying you should.
No, we're not forcing.
But any amount.
We love Doug and we want to see him succeed.
Any amount they'll appreciate. So that's going to be the end of my push for that. So, but he is a friend of ours, so we felt obligated to. What else? Is that our news?
That's it. That's the news tonight. Can you tell us what we're drinking?
What we're drinking?
We talk about UFOs.
I found this from one of my favorite alcohol sites, which is Kraken Rum. So this is kind of a spin on the Dark and Stormy, which is basically spiced rum and ginger beer. So this is Kraken black spiced rum, some lime juice, and ginger beer. It's basically Dark and Stormy. You can add the activated charcoal if you want that kind of dark to light sort of effect, but it's not necessary it's not going to change the taste. So just those three things. So it's basically Dark and Stormy. But anyway, I'm having, it's so funny because we've done so many movies with aliens in them that if I see another alien drink that's green, they're all the same. They're all. So I thought this was different. So, and it's easy to make. And
what is it? It's green.
It's green. It's green. So, all right. So we are going to do this. I think you started a lot first last time. I'll start first this time. I want to again preface this by saying this is by no means a definitive list. And after I finished the list, I realized we probably missed a ton of stuff.
We missed a ton. And should we tell the audience what our parameters were?
Well, our only parameter was really that I did kind of say at the beginning that it was visitation. We had to see the alien, so it couldn't be a movie where we didn't see the alien. Your favorite movie, Vast of
Night.
Well,
you see the ship. You see the ship.
See the aliens, though.
I love Vast.
You have to see the aliens, and it has to take place on Earth. That was kind of really the only criteria.
Fair enough.
So anyway, my number 3 slot was again Predator, for no other reason than the entertainment value of this movie, and of course it launched a franchise, and it had a lot of fun moments to it. I don't know. We did do this movie. I think Alex came on and did this movie with us. She's a big fan of Predator. Of course, I remember when this came out in the late 80s. Schwarzenegger was at the top of his game, it's a good. I think it's a good alien visitation movie because again, it's isolated. It doesn't involve the entire world. It's just this one little group of I guess they're Rangers or Marines or whatever they are, special forces, and in the jungle, and it's them against this one predator. So, that's, I mean, thoughts.
Solid choice, solid start. It is scary. It fits the parameters very well. We see the alien, and it completely takes place on Earth. Although my number 3 spot does too. Yeah, this thing was wildly popular when it came out, and frankly remains wildly popular to this day. The Predator
it holds up as
creature
a,
is
you know,
an awesome
the
creature.
effects maybe not so much. They're not horrible considering
No,
the
they're
day.
not horrible.
It does hold up, I think, from an entertainment value.
No, the run around the jungle holds up just fine.
It's quotable. Somebody said, get to the chopper. That's probably
Get to the chopper.
Again, this was when Schwarzenegger was definitely on his rise, his meteoric rise, and it's an action film. It's not supposed to make you really think too much about what social or political impact. They're not trying to make a statement. This is strictly man against
just
alien.
Fun. This is a shoot 'em up popcorn movie,
and man wins. The alien loses this one in the end.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
man wins.
Yeah. So that was my number. That was my number 3. Your number 3 was, let me slide, was Nope. Now you're gonna have to fill me in because I've never seen this. Nope. No, I haven't.
Okay, so Nope is pretty awesome because you know how we're always saying they keep going back to the same well. This is finally an original movie, an original concept. I think it is so smart and so clever. It is a very unique take on sci-fi with a Western kind of twist.
Give me the synopsis, because I honestly have never even heard of this movie until you mentioned it.
Oh no! Oh, you've got to see this movie. It's so good.
Well, what's the general idea aside from the fact that it's aliens?
It is an alien. Well, you may disqualify. I'm about to spoil Nope. If you guys haven't seen Nope, because you may disqualify. If you haven't seen Nope, cover your ears. So the 2 leads, OJ and his sister Emerald, they train horses for Hollywood. And they live on a ranch just outside the city, kind of up in the high desert of California. And they finally realize this stuff going on. And they finally figure out there's something in the sky. Horses keep getting eaten and stuff. And there's a whole subplot. I won't go into the subplot, but they're seeing this thing. And when you first see it, it looks like a classic saucer UFO, the perfectly round UFO. And it, will swoop down, get a horse, and then leave. And they watch it, and as this movie unfolds, and here's the spoiler, finally you realize it's not a ship. The thing is the creature. It is the alien, and it can change its shape. Sometimes it's in the classic saucer shape, and it comes right down. It looks like a giant cowboy hat with a hole in the middle, and it'll come right down and be like right behind it. It was so scary. And then toward the end of the movie, it changes shape, and it looks like this giant orchid, maybe like this huge, like it unfolds and has these 2 big gorgeous sails and this really weird eye that it is the weirdest, trippiest, most original thing that I'd seen in a long, long, long time, and it left a solid impression on me. And I was like,
when did this movie come out?
Nope is 2000 and let me go to my other webpage. Nope is 2000 and to the top 22. So it kind of just came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
It's by Jordan Peele. And it is just so different and so clever. There's really great themes running through of making a spectacle out of something and exploiting something. And can you tame a wild? The theme that runs through this movie is, can you tame something wild? Because the subplot involves, as you see in that photo, you see Stephen Ewan. He plays Glenn in Walking Dead. Right. He's the subplot, and he is trying to exploit this thing. And he has a story of exploitation in his past too. The cinematography is incredible. The cast is phenomenal. There's symbolism throughout it. And the actual creature itself, the actual alien, they call it Jean Jacket for a reason. They call it Jean Jacket. It's the most original thing I'd seen in a long, long time. It's a really smart and amazing to watch movie. I recommend you all, if you want a good scare, check it out. And it's not just scary just to be scary. There's themes and it's a smart movie. So So that's my number 3.
That's fair. That's fair. It looks like something I'll have to check out.
Yeah.
So, just in the comments, we have of course Doc saying, excuse me, Sarge is saying E.T. and the original thing, which is different, obviously, than the Kurt
The
Russell
original
one.
thing. I like the what's his name?
I've seen
Russell.
both. I got to go with the Kurt Russell version as the.
I got to go with the Kurt Russell too.
Okay, so my second place was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This was really tough because I almost wanted to put this in number 1 slot. And I think those of you, when you see what my number 1 is, you'll probably agree with me. But this movie was at the time, I thought it was a very original take on, as you were just saying about Nope, but this one, we always saw alien invasions, aliens being evil, taking over, whatever, killing people. This one, we didn't. This is one of the first movies we see where that wasn't the case. Of course, we'll get to it when we get to the number 1, but yeah, it was just such a fresh take on alien visitation, and that this is not just 1 or 2 people. I mean, it's many people that are involved, and certain ones were chosen. Of course, the government was being hiding it, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, you guys have all seen this movie. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, we've done this movie. This is a classic for a reason. And a phenomenal story. I think it has things in common with my number 1. And Rizzo, I'd argue with you. I think this should have been your number 1. This is such a good movie.
It is a really good movie. But I was kind of going with just overall impact and yeah, I mean, it really is like a tie for my first.
It is a tie, yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't know which one to put, but
Sarge, I like Cowboys and Aliens. Just for what it's worth, I like Cowboys and Aliens.
Cowboys and Aliens is like, it's like a fun movie.
It's fun.
Don't take it too seriously. Don't take it seriously. So anyway, yeah, I mean, you guys have seen it. You know it. Devil's Tower came out in 1977, same year as Star Wars, believe it or not.
Spielberg's.
But it was still very popular.
Yeah, very, very popular. Remains wildly popular to this day. And again, like Nope, it's got some really interesting themes and motifs running through it.
Yeah,
that makes it a very smart movie.
Certainly, at least everybody of our generation knows those notes. Exactly. Everybody knows that as soon as you hear it, it's iconic. You know exactly what it came from.
You know what it is, yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. So your number 2 is Signs. Now we did this movie not that long ago.
We did do Signs.
Last year when we did it,
last year maybe. Maybe last year.
I do remember. This is the one with Mel Gibson, right?
Mel Gibson, yeah. Okay, right up front, I don't like Mel Gibson, but he's so good in this movie.
He's a good actor. You have to give him that, even though he's crazy.
Get his shit together. All right, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. We love him. He does some good stuff. This is a master class in slow burn suspense. And there's so much going on in this movie. Small cast, limited setting. It's not a bottle movie because they do go to town, but it takes mostly place on the farm. Deeply unnerving. A different kind of alien invasion than normal. Although it kind of gives you that we're really alone feel because they're out on their farm, kind of a little bit out in the country, and they are seeing things on television that's happening kind of in the cities. But the feeling of like, oh God, we are alone out here. We need to board up the windows and like try to do things. And the scares in this movie, because it is Halloween, so I wanted to be a little bit scary. Nope is a little bit scary. This movie is a little bit scary. The scares in this movie are not like just jump scares for the sake of jump scares, but they're crafted to also maximize the fear as you're watching. And 2 really good examples are, do you remember when, I know you guys have all seen this movie, Mel Gibson's upstairs in his bedroom, and his bedroom is on the second story, so his window is about on par with the barn roof. And the daughter comes in and says, "There's a monster under my bed, and I need a glass of water," or whatever. And he's just sitting there talking to her, and he's just looking at her, but he's just kind of looking out the window past her, and you don't even see what he's seeing. You just see his face change, and it goes from being really tired, okay, honey, you got to get back to bed, to like, he doesn't even move his head. It just, his eye, like, that's actually brilliant acting, which makes me very angry with Mel Gibson for doing that so well, because I hate him.
Want to like him.
So good. And then there's funnier scares when like Joaquin Phoenix is watching TV and they're like, okay, we've got we've got a video clip of the alien, and he's yelling at the children on the TV like, "Vamonos, children!" Yeah. And then you see the alien and it's scary. It's another super, super smart movie. It does have this theme running through it. The central theme is whether or not inexplicable events are just luck or part of a larger plan. And the movie definitely says part of a larger plan. Examples of this are Meryl's baseball bat, Bo's water glasses, Morgan's asthma. They're all part of a plan. Now, look, do I believe in this stuff personally? No, there's so much random crap that goes on all over the place that's not part of a larger plan. But it made for a really compelling movie and a really fun to watch movie as you yourself are sort of following the threads and the logic and the movie goes through. Yeah, great ensemble cast. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. Even Abigail Breslin was so young then, and Rory Culkin. It's just amazing performances, great music. It's great. It's a great film. I'm guessing you've all already seen it. I have to imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we covered it. I can't speak for anybody else. Of course, we saw it, but I believe it did well. It was popular when it was released.
Yeah.
So
Bill is saying
it's a great suspenseful movie in itself, even if you don't dig deep into all the little intricacies and things that M. Night always likes to leave in his films. These clues.
Yes, he does.
He's very good at it. If you've seen the Sixth Sense. He was like, I left all these clues leading up to what the not to give a spoiler, but the ultimate, the climax of the film is. And he's like, I couldn't believe that nobody was picking it up. Like audiences were watching this and nobody was picking up all these clues that he left that were obvious to him. Of course, if you're the one putting the clue in there, it's obvious to you.
It's obvious to you, yeah.
So that is definitely a thing that he likes to do, and it's signature.
Yeah, Sixth Sense was another really smart movie. He's had some really great ones, and he's had a couple clunkers, but he's had some. Yeah. Bill is saying signs of the state of man losing and regaining his faith. Yes, that motif is in it too. And Bill is saying, and we talked about this when we covered this movie on our show. By the way, they're demons, not aliens. Yeah, there's a really heavy argument out on the internet about that. I'm rolling with aliens personally. I don't think they're demons, but there is evidence to support that they might be demons.
Okay, then. All right, my number one. The original 1952 version. Now you can see why I was struggling with Close Encounters. I think the reason I picked this film is because of when it was released. And again, this was probably one of the first movie where the aliens weren't coming to necessarily kill everybody. They basically gave us an ultimatum that you either live under our rules or we basically lock you off from everything. Gort takes over, and so to speak. But it had some really good themes. It had some commentary about world politics, about nuclear war, how we treat people that we don't understand, that sort of thing. So I just felt it was an important, not necessarily the best alien movie ever made, but I felt it was probably one of the most important ones ever made because
it's really groundbreaking.
And like I said, for 1952, everything that was made for sci-fi was, with the exception of like maybe Forbidden Planet, but even that had kind of an alien in it that was trying to kill people. It was more of a thinker. This movie was not an action film. So I think strictly from the importance of the genre, that's why I picked this one as number one. But like I said, Close Encounters to me is like almost a dead tie with this, because I think it has a very similar kind of feel to it, in the sense that the aliens are coming here not to invade. They're generally malevolent, but they're just saying, in this movie, they're saying, you've reached a certain level of technology where you can now potentially damage or attack somebody beyond the Earth. We don't basically they're saying we don't care what you do to yourselves, but you're not going to carry it out into the galaxy. So it was just kind of an interesting way to, I think it's for the time I thought it was, but again, you're starting the middle of the Cold War is just ramping up. So you kind of see that, and nuclear holocaust or a war was on everybody's minds in the 50s, that it was potentially a real thing. So I just felt it had a lot of important themes to it that made it.
Yeah, and what year was this again? 1952. 52. Yeah.
52.
Was this actually the first Alien where they weren't automatically malevolent?
No, it might have been. I don't know. I don't know every single science fiction movie ever made. But it's certainly one of the early ones.
But I have to, even though the aliens aren't malevolent, I gotta say, in this movie, the human response is pretty par for the course, because what they do, surrounded them with the army,
tanks and everything else, and flying saucer. Again, we have the very typical flying saucer for the spaceship. I think when we get to Forbidden Planet, we see the C-57D, and that was the first time we see a flying saucer that is not an alien ship. It's us. It's us.
It's us.
So, I mean, the other one would be maybe this Island Earth. They sort of came again. That came out after this, though.
If I was going to go classic, I'd go War of the Worlds. But then that's the malevolent alien again.
Again, an excellent movie, but yeah. Again, like I said, we said earlier, there was so many movies that were great, and we're not, we're missing, So,
I have a list,
51,
guys.
Not 52. Already here.
When we started making their lists, guys, I have 40 movies on my list right now. I had to narrow it down. It was so hard. And Rizzo, just for fun, we talked about this movie. We did this movie on the show. We did
this movie. Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
And then just for fun, I watched this movie for the show, and I also watched the Keanu Reeves version, the newer version.
I've never seen it.
Pretty solid. I mean, it's okay. But it's solid.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because it didn't need to be remade. The same as War of the Worlds.
Probably didn't. It would be like remaking Princess Bride. Yeah, there's no point.
And my thing is, if it doesn't need to be remade, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it has some merit, but modern movies always seem to just take away the nostalgia of these old ones. So anyway, that's it. So the rest, we have a bunch of. And I didn't even get slides for all of the honorable mentions. So our first honorable mention.
This is my
number one. I'm sorry, that's right.
This is my number one. Arrival. So I decided to go intellectual for my number one. Arrival 2016. Kind of like what Rizzo did. I want to take it in a more positive direction. Widely praised as a masterpiece of cerebral science fiction. Because it blends, it's a compelling story. There's some profound philosophical concepts, and there's not a lot of action, but the film focuses largely on communication, emotion, the human condition, and there's a very heartbreaking twist right at the core of the movie. And the movie is based on a real hypothesis. It's called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. We covered. I don't think we did an entire show on this movie, but I feel like we covered it.
Yeah, we did it. This was part of a large.
And I remember talking about this Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. It's a real thing where in the language you speak influences your perception of reality and thought. And people who are multilingual have a very different, a measurable different way of perceiving reality and situations, which is to me absolutely fascinating. And so in the movie, again, spoilers, guys, in the movie, when the main character, who's Amy Adams, I can't think of the character's name, when she learns their circular non-linear language, her perception of time changes, and it completely shatters the human. The humans have a very linear thing, and she learns this circular non-linear thing, and it shatters her perception of time. And I love that. I would love if aliens would come and teach us something new like that. That would be fabulous.
As long as we're not supposed to be a lunch.
As long as we're not lunch, if they're actually helping us, so great. And there's diplomacy in this thing and military conflict and then all the smart things where they're talking about the word weapon. There's the translation of the word weapon. You know what it kind of reminds me of? Remember in the Next Generation when Troy is talking to Picard and she holds up a cup and she goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "Glass, coffee." She's like, or it could be hot, could be brown, could be any one of a number of things. And it's that. I love that.
And really, that probably is going to be, should we ever meet an alien, an intelligent alien race, would be communication. It would be, but I think again, going back to Close Encounters, I think they hit it right where what would be a universal language, which would probably be mathematics and
math
and sound and things like that are a finite. There is no gray area. Math is math. You know what I'm saying? So the math would probably be, which is essentially music.
Yes.
Would be the universal, the Rosetta Stone, so to speak, for eventually figuring out.
And interestingly, in this movie, if you remember, like 12 of these ships have landed all over the globe, and each team from each team from each nation where they landed were trying different things, and some of the teams were trying math with them to learn to speak their language. Guys, so no jump scares really in this movie. So maybe not good for Halloween, but a very intelligent movie. And I highly recommend it. That's why it's my number one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good pick. It was a good movie. I did watch this one when we covered it. So moving on to our
honorable mentions.
Like I said, many honorable mentions. My first one, again, this is when we did this movie. It's Evolution. How do you want to put it? This is a fun comedy. It's about a meteor that lands, of course, on Earth, and it immediately starts to basically evolve these creatures from microscopic organisms to full-grown, and it's just silly. We did do it. If you want to go back and find it, it's fun. It's got, of course, our favorite David Duchovny, our favorite X-File guy, and Orlando Bloom, and God, I can't think of her name. Yeah, she's been a ton of stuff.
And
anyway,
Sean,
yeah, Stifler,
yeah.
So it's silly. It has a little bit of science in it, but even Dan Aykroyd is in it briefly as a governor, I believe, of the state of Nevada, where the thing landed. Anyway, it was a fun movie. I liked it. I still think there's the best line is "There's always time for lubricant," which is you have to watch the movie if you want the reference, but that's still something that's quotable. So anyway, moving on to another one. And again, these are in no particular order, by the way. This is one you as communion.
This was one of my honorable mentions. Yeah. All three of my honorable mentions are on the exact same topic. Alien abduction, and this is of course Whitley Strieber's supposedly true story. This is a scary and freaky film, so if you're looking for something to make you a little like odd, yes, that is Christopher Walken. Yeah, if you're looking for something to keep you a little bit on edge this Halloween for scares, I recommend the supposedly, and I'm gonna say that word strongly, supposedly true story of alien abduction Communion.
Okay, I've never seen this one. But,
it's a weird one. It is truly. And here's the thing: I have the book. I had read the book, and then of course, I better go see this movie. The book is, as always, the book is better. But that's just how it goes.
Fair enough. Okay, next one. This is one I picked. I believe this is what either Roy is doing or has done just recently, which is 1988's They Live, which was featured Rowdy Piper. One of the first time we get to see a wrestler as our lead. It's kind of it's actually a very interesting. It's an alien takeover film where they're basically in how do I put it, infiltrating our society and basically taking over through subliminal messages. And apparently you can see them with the right kind of glasses, and you can see not only them as the aliens, but you could see all their subliminal messages all over the place on straight signs and stuff like that. It's a fun movie. Don't take it too seriously, but it was pretty popular in 1988. I think it's kind of a cult classic in my opinion. Yeah, it's just a fun movie, and I think it was an interesting take on alien invasion. It wasn't just, hey, we're coming down and taking over.
Yeah.
It was we're gonna infiltrate your society and basically take you over from within. The enemy within.
The enemy within.
So anyway, moving on. This is another one. This is I've never seen or heard of. It's Fifth Kind.
The fourth kind. I think the one I might have given you a typo. I wanted The Fourth Kind, a movie called The Fourth Kind. But that's okay. They're both the same. The Fourth Kind is another one of these. It's loosely, and I use that word strongly, loosely based on a series of real missing persons cases. The thing that I particularly liked about The Fourth Kind is it was written and the screenplay, and it was directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi. We know him. He did a ton of Disco episodes. And I think he's done some Strange New Worlds and some other Star Trek too. It stars Mila Jovovich and Will Patton. And it's just another one of these alien abduction that I love so much. I love me some alien abduction.
Brings us to the next one. Again, I keep going silly. Mars Attacks. I thought this movie was pretty funny. I don't think it did super well in the box office, but I think it was pretty ambitious, and it was the quintessential alien invasion film with just being crazy silly. Of course, it is based on the cards. I think they're from the 1960s by the same name of Mars Attacks. I have a copy of them here somewhere. They're not the originals. I have reprints. But they basically tell the story of an alien invasion from Mars and how
it's a funny one. This one's a fun
one. Them. Yeah, it's got Jack Nicholson has multiple parts, and
there's a bunch of cameos in this one.
There's tons of famous people in this. Martin Short's in it. It just keeps going on and on. I can't even go through all the people that are in it. But yeah, it's funny, it's silly. It's meant to be. It's not meant to be taken seriously at all. But it kind of does show the absurdity of our government sometimes. Some of the things the way they would do things, because we know that that's probably pretty accurate. And Jeff saying Mars Attacks uncovers the true effect of country music on people. Yeah, it was. I forget the actual singer that caused their brains to explode, which is how we won the battle. That was not in the cards, by the way. That's how they got rid of the aliens. In the cards, we basically drive them back to Mars and then send our own forces there to invade Mars. So we get them back in the end. But they used a lot of the tropes, the stuff where they're in the cards. There was like alien spaceships like burning cattle and like pretty gruesome stuff. But they touched on a lot of the stuff from the cards. Into the thing, yeah. So it was kind of fun. Anyway, it's a fun movie. We did do this, I believe, a while back.
Yes, we did. We did do this one, yeah. And then my last one,
Fire in the Sky. Of course, this one, this was really popular. Probably one of the most popular, or at least well-known, abduction films.
Yes. This is another one. This is another movie that is based on the supposed, and again, on the allegedly true story of Travis Walton, who went missing for a couple days in, I can't remember what year. And it may have had an abduction experience, but whether that's true or not, I don't know. But this one is another it's like Communion. It is scary. It is freaky. It is weird. There were scenes that you just kind of watch like this because you're like, oh my God, what is happening? It is a weird one. And if you want something a little scary for Halloween, I recommend Fire in the Sky. Yeah, and guys, for what it's worth, I love UFO stuff. Since I was a little kid, and I go out all the time and I look up into the sky and I never see anything. Like nothing.
It's because it's not bad.
They don't want me, apparently.
Have you noticed since the invention of the smartphone and everybody has a camera and a video camera in their pocket, literally all the time. The amount of alien sightings and just dropped.
Kind of yes and kind of no. They actually are still out there. People are
Oh, they're
still
out there. I just say we don't
now.
hear about them as much.
Now they're computer savvy and they know how to doctor footage.
Yeah, you can't
so
believe
it's
with AI. You can't believe anything.
It's phenomenal the stuff that's out there.
Yeah, you can't believe anything you see. I threw in, of course, good old again stick, and with the silly Men in Black. This was a great movie when it came out.
I love this movie.
I love this movie. That's what my thing is. Did you flashy thing me?
Did you flashy thing me?
It's really good. You guys have all seen Men in Black. I think we even did it. I believe we must have done it. It's a fun movie. Of course, aliens are living here on Earth. They've been living here since the 50s or 60s, or whatever it was. And there's an organization that keeps everybody from knowing. And Tommy Lee Jones has a great line when he's trying to explain this to Will Smith, and he kind of says, he goes, a person is smart, people are basically stupid.
Yeah, I love that line.
And you think, and he's so on point with that, because we see that with a lot of things.
Yes, we do.
Explain things.
Yes, we do.
But then you get a group, you get that group mentality of the mob mentality. And that's I think one of the best lines of that movie. And it was so on point. So had to mention Men in Black for alien movies. I did throw in this one, Oblivion.
I
liked this movie. I know it wasn't super popular. I think what I liked was the whole production design of this film. And I realized it shouldn't be in here because we don't actually ever see the alien.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do we ever see the alien?
No, I did throw it in at the last minute, and then I really we shouldn't be in here into this list. We don't really see the alien. We see their ship, and technically, I guess she's just an AI recording the woman that is the their controller person,
their director,
but we don't actually see it, so we could take Oblivion off.
Are you still an effective team?
Yeah,
with the accent. She had that funny accent.
Yeah, well, she was modeled after, because we did do this movie. She was modeled after an actual flight.
An actual person.
Yeah. So that voice and everything. So anyway, that is the list that I have, at least as far as slides. But these
guys,
like I said, we mentioned the movies that we E.T. we didn't mention. I didn't put E.T. on my list because E.T., although it was a good movie, I thought it was too cutesy and really not a good alien movie overall.
Well, it's an alien.
It was a good movie, but it wasn't a great alien movie. We had talked about Independence Day. Was another one. Independence Day was another one we didn't put on the list. It was very popular.
Independence Day.
Probably should have made the at least honorable mention list. Although I always thought,
my list.
My list had the one niggly mistake I felt they made that would have required one line to be written in.
On Independence Day?
Yeah, I thought the way they got it with a computer virus, is all they had to say is, well, all of our computer code is based on theirs because we basically reverse engineered their computers.
Yeah, because we've been reverse engineered.
Then it would have made sense why our computers would have been compatible with their computers. We can't even
sometimes you have to suspend disbelief.
I know, but it would have took one sentence to do that, and it would have made a perfect connection, because it would have made sense that, we got all our technology from these aliens because it crashed in the 50s, and that's when we started getting really cool, in the tech, and they reverse engineered enough stuff that they got the computers to work and talk. And so our base software, binary or whatever you want to call it, is based on their computer technology. So that's why our virus would work. I always said that. All it would have took was one line. Just one line. That's it. Didn't have to make a big deal out of it.
If you want to watch alien TV shows, may I recommend Resident Alien, People of Earth, Falling Skies, and then maybe the Stargate. I don't know if the Stargate series count or not. Does the movie Stargate count? Maybe not.
I wouldn't really consider Stargate an alien movie.
Yeah, it's probably not. I mean, they meet the alien Thor by the end there, but whatever. What else we got? We got you said Last Starfighter didn't count. Starman?
No, I wouldn't call Last Starfighter an alien movie. Great movie. Don't get me wrong. Love
I
it.
would. They meet. The whole
Not
battle
not
is with aliens.
it certainly doesn't fit into our criteria. I guess Centauri did come to Earth technically to pick him up, but it's really not the focus of the film. It's not an alien invasion or visitation.
District Net. Oh, V. We should have talked about V.
V, the TV
or
show.
Alien Nation. We should have talked about Alien Nation.
Alien Nation would have been another good one. Yeah.
If you guys want a really scary one, it just came out last year. It's called No One Will Save You. It's a horror, straight up alien horror movie. It is scary. Super 8. Let's see, what else do I have? The UFO incident.
There's too many. There's just like literally.
There's just too many.
And we were just like, so as I said, I'm going to pick out what I like, but it certainly is not the definitive list. We already talked about, a lot of these films that we probably should have made the list.
Oh my God, Bill lives near the
the World's Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, the World's Fair.
It's in Queens, right? Is it Queens? Or
I thought you lived more out upstate. Oh well, okay. That's cool. I didn't know there were 3 towers.
I know it was near, because when I was going to my grandmother's house in Brooklyn, we used to pass by that all the time. I remember seeing the building where the aliens was in, and the big globe for the 60s.
Yeah.
64 and 65 or 63, whatever it was, World's Fair. Yeah. Hey, old guys, do those still work?
Yeah. Hey, old guys, yeah. It is a great movie.
It was a good movie, and it was a good idea that's where they hid the alien spacecraft, was they put them at the World's Fair.
Flushing.
Okay.
Flushing.
So, yeah, I just remember passing it. I remember every time I passed my dad, I remember we used to go there. Blah, blah, blah. But it was only there for 2 years. So, but apparently, and as we talked about, the World's Fair, the New York World's Fair was really the cornerstone of Star Trek. They pulled so many things.
Oh God, yes.
To put into Star Trek, because it was going to be the future.
If you take the tour, or if you took one of my early tours back when I was doing tours, I always talked about, because when you get to the doctor's office, there's a couple things on the shelves.
Oh yeah, the spray bottles and the squirt bottles that we take for granted now were new in the mid 60s. They were very high tech new things. Spray bottles.
The patent for the plastic trigger with the plastic tube in the middle of the bottle, that is like 1962 or something, 60 or 60.
So that was very, very.
Like,
that's
really, I mean, they had atomizers before that, like the old fashioned where you hold the glass
you had to
and
squeeze a big bulb thing.
They had those.
Had those for perfume.
But
yeah, but they didn't have the regular spray bottles that we take for granted, or the squirt bottles, that you use for ketchup or something like that. Those things.
I talk about that on tours, and they always look at me like they don't believe me. No, guys, look it up. The patent for the plastic trigger with the plastic tube is like,
because again, all those items were displayed at the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Video phones and stuff like that were displayed. RCA had the video phones and stuff like that. That they were showing that it could work. The technology was starting. Now we look at everything as, you have all this stuff on your phone. You can talk to somebody by video on your phone and have it in your pocket. So, crazy stuff. Anyway, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of the hour. So next week, Chris LaRose, even though for some reason you gave us an angry face, I don't know what that was about, Chris.
Why are you giving us an angry face, Chris?
I think an angry face he gave us, so I don't know what he's mad about. But you should be happy, because we're going to do the movie you've been bugging us to do with Roy and Ross, which is Monster. So next week, Roy and Ross are going to join us for our Halloween wrap up, and we're going to do Monster Squad. So
we're going to do Monster Squad. I'm looking forward to it. I will be in costume.
We have costumes on. I have no idea what that's going to be, but something. And what does Roy got going on, or Phil?
Roy has nothing. He's taking Friday off. He may jump on Sunday to do some coming attractions. He told me what it was, and he is also looking forward to seeing us. Oh, he might go to the Chiller Theater after work. So they might pop in on Sunday for something last minute, but they aren't sure yet. They don't know what Ross is doing. So they're looking forward to seeing us on Wednesday. And then Captain Phil has his usual week on the politics show with Bill, they will be talking to people who went to the No Kings rally. And then he often on the weekends, Phil goes to Phil sells his stuff at
flea markets and whatnot.
Thank you. Flea market. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was looking for. And so he is going to be in Middleburg, New York. He says, if you want to stand in a field and talk about science fiction books with Captain Phil, Sunday the 26th is the day to do that. So head out to Middleburg and buy some stuff.
Yeah. So there was another piece of news that I remembered that it's kind of for Star Trek Las Vegas coming up this in 26. The Trexperts have now once again been contracted to do the Trexpert stage, so they'll be back. Yeah, that's really good. They have some really good interviews and stuff that they do.
They have amazing interviews.
And the awesome thing is, if you cannot get to Star Trek Las Vegas, just wait, because it'll be on their podcast.
Yeah,
they record them all.
Or you can sometimes find them on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and YouTube. They are on video. They're doing both now. And our own Brian Mix there that helps us out at the studio has been doing the video editing for them. And then, of course, a week from Friday, we will be at the set tour for Halloween.
Yes. We will be at the set tour on the 31st.
There, or in uniform, whatever you want. I don't know. And we're just going to, I don't know. Last year we just had a lot of fun hanging out with.
Yeah,
I think it was more fun for the staff than it was for the
It's more fun for the staff. It's not a big day. There's not a lot of, honestly, I'm looking at the pre-sales. We haven't sold a lot of tours that day, so it's going to be a pretty chill day. But you know what? I like that. I like when it's just chill and we can just hang out.
I had 4 outfit changes that day. So.
That's right, you did. You brought all these costumes. I'm only bringing 2 costumes.
I had 4 outfits. I'm not going to do that this time. Maybe 2.
But I think we're going to be bringing the dogs. So the dogs will have costumes and costume changes. So everyone's going to have costume changes.
I can't wait till the dogs have an accident in the transporter.
Oh, no, they don't go inside. Tilly can kind of go inside if I carry her, because she has the canine species, whatever it was. And then she also has.
Yeah. There was a couple that had that at Star Trek Las Vegas. Their dog was I think they were visually impaired. The people they had, I think they were legally blind. So they had one dog that was, I think, guiding them, but they had another one like in a wagon, and it was very cute. It had the little horns or whatever the hell the things were. So
yeah, there's one called canine species Alpha 177. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yes, it is.
Yeah, the one where it was an Enemy Within.
Yeah, Enemy Within. Tilly has that costume, so she will be wearing that. Very cute. Yeah, Chris, I wish you could come too. There's not a lot of customers, so we actually get to hang out.
It's a very quiet day, so I wouldn't. If you come from far, don't. It's not a big event. It's.
And we take pictures of ourselves in our costumes on
pretty
the set.
Much, like I said, I think it's more fun for us than it is.
It's just fun for us, yeah.
Yeah. So. All right. On that note, I will say good night. We will see you next week.
Yes.
With Roy and Ross, of course, and then we're going to be into November, if you can believe it already. Wow, we're Christmas before you know it.
How did that happen?
All right, guys. Good night. Live long and prosper, and may the force be with you always. Good night.